Hey, greetings, everyone. Well, in short, this um, broadcast is just so I can stay focused. I have a lot of things on my mind, and a lot of it's hardware problem issues going on right now, and I think there's a lot of wear and tear on all of the machines, and so the machines are all kind of going crazy. Um, I don't want to say breakdown here, breakdown there. Some of them are just showing signs of wear and tear, and I don't consider that a breakdown. It's just have to uh, adjust the machine, things like that. But the laser cutters are doing something weird. Um, so the Glowforge is past its prime lifetime for laser cutting. Tubes, laser cutters require tubes. In particular, these CO2 tubes, and the longer the tube, the more powerful the laser is. So we got some tubes that are about like this long. These are for 40 watt lasers, and they're rated for about 2 years, 2.5 years, plus or minus, whether you use the machine or not. So you could have a tube sitting in the factory before the machine gets assembled or whatever, and the clock is ticking on it. It has a shelf life. So the once you get it, you got to start using your laser right away, because even if you just turn it off for a week or something, it's slowly leaking a CO2 gas, and it's just the way it is. Glass is pretty good, but it's also a little porous, I believe, and and for one reason or the other, the gas finds its way to get out. So that's what's going on. The smaller the tube, well, you have less gas. I suppose that's the way it goes. But smaller the tube, you have even less shelf life. So we have a 30 watt laser, and it does pretty good also. It's newer, but the shelf life is about 2 years to 1.5, something like that, plus or minus. So what's going on is it's a gradual decline in performance, and so signs of it, so you can recognize, is that you have to, when you do a particular job that you've done before, if you start noticing the quality of the burn, it starts to get less and less. So you have to make little adjustments, such as increasing the power to the laser, or slowing down the laser so it takes more time to go over a particular area. And then, worst cases, you start having to play around with both of those settings. Slower speed, so it takes longer, and more strength, so more power is going to it, so it burns. So you start to juggle this these two particular settings, and so what's going on is that the machines that I'm using, they're getting older, and so I need to see about replacing the laser tube. Now, before I could get that, well, see, laser tubes, it costs around, I think, like around 200 or something like that, depending. I gotta look around for the proper tubes that I need, because not every tube is designed for just any machine, and so I gotta make sure I'm getting the right one, things like that, and try to minimize the shelf life of these tubes sitting around in the factory. You can imagine, some factories not moving them very much, and say, yeah, we got some tubes that have been sitting out in the back for a year, so I got to find a good supplier for them. The other thing is there's software. Software is also an issue. So I'm using the original software this thing came with. I need to see about updating. Now, because all this is production, I don't want to do a silly thing like blindly upgrade the software, and then I find that the software has bricked features that I needed, or brick the machine to the point where I have to go back as if it's a brand new machine and recalibrate everything and all that. So so what I'm intending to do is to bring up an older computer, a laptop, for example, that I have the stuff already on, and work the machine with it to see if everything works as expected, and then upgrade the software on that laptop. Then go back and test and see if everything is working properly. If it is, then I got the green light to upgrade the software on the main machines, the ones I use for production. So all this said is because, it's the nature of the beast on doing 3D printing in particular is that it's slow. So I still have back orders on orders I'm trying to get out. Some of them require laser cut parts, and I just been struggling with this one particular thing, and it's not coming out anything that I do. So I'm in a tough bind right now, trying to get this thing working properly, and it's not, and it should. So I don't know if it's the software, or it's the laser tube going down, or both. Now I say software because in the past I didn't have to do anything. It's just it's a black and white image that's engraving. So if it's a dark circle, it's going to engrave the dark circle. If it's a dark line, it's going to engrave a dark line. There's no gradient involved. It's not like shades of gray. But for some reason, only the black circle is coming out, and I'm getting like dots on where the black lines should be. Could be that the lines are too thin, too small. That's always possible. But then then I go back and I go to the image and I try to thicken things and make things a little bit more, easier to handle by just basically making sure that there's no shades of gray, just black and white, and the black lines are thick, things like that. So I put all of this in and I go to the software, and guess what? The software is not showing the image properly. So, do I still have a laser tube and a software issue, or is it just the software that's going flaky? So all this, time sensitive. So that's taking time from everything else. So what I'm going to do is send the guy an email explaining what's going on, and jump ahead and try to get all the other orders out, because all those are still pending. So I got a machine that I have right now that I'm about to set a print for, and that's what I was in the process of doing when I started this video. And I had a scare also, in that I go to my network where I have all of the files and everything. I go into the wrong folder. Similar name, similar structure. And I notice I only have images. Where's the STLs? Where's all the stuff for printing? And it's I go to one particular folder. It's got images, but all the other stuff is file not found types of things. And it's what's going on? Well, I go back and I say, this is an older backup type folder. And it's not the actual production folder. I had a scare there. I was thinking oh, I'm going to have to go to the backups. And I just did a backup yesterday, and I'm like, oh, did I like? What if something happened to the actual source files, and I go to the backup, to do a regular backup, and I end up copying empty folders. You know what I'm saying? So all this is going through on in my mind. It's like, oh gosh, and I'm thinking like, what if the backups? So I'm jumping the gun. I'm thinking like, oh, what if the backups that went yesterday? Because I just did the backups. What if the backups have a problem? Do I have a backup of the backups? Yes, I do. And I'm thinking like, okay, well, how updated were they? So, jumping the gun, but I'm jumping several steps ahead. And then I take a look at the path, and it's like, oh, I'm in the wrong folder. Relief. So it's been one hectic thing after the other, and so one thing I've been blessed about is you guys, the customers, because this is, how would I say, we started this adventure together. We started the company together. I went live with it to show everything, how what it takes, and so when there's a problem, I share it with you guys. If there's victory, I share that with you guys as well. So your understanding and everything is extremely grateful, because this is just me basically doing all of this, and it's not easy. It really is not easy. It's because you're trying to do. I'm taking a look, see if I have a free spot there, because you're trying to do good quality stuff, and there's a lot of competition out there, and there are people who will smile to you, and they're your competitors, and they'll smile to you, and behind their backs, they're doing things to take away your bread and butter, that kind of stuff. So it's not, I mean, it's friendly, but it's not too friendly. Okay, there's a lot of people now. There's names that I can name that are good people, and they won't do that to you. And we, fortunately, we meet some of them at places like conventions, and they are good, and they will stick up for you as well. And but it's also, remember, it's also business too. So you don't want to step on anyone's toes, and you don't want your own toes to be stepped on. And so if so everyone's got sharp teeth, okay? Or it's like what I think of it as, you've probably heard the analogy of accounting. Accountants steer a company like it's a ship, to safe waters, navigating storms, economic storms, things like that. Well, I also see it also as in a ship metaphor, where I suppose you can think of it as, you have one company, that's one ship. You have multiple companies, you have multiple ships. It becomes a fleet. And if you have like competition, well, that's there's other ships out there, and some of them, and all of these are like battleships, or the smaller company you have, the smaller ship it is. It's a frigate, it's a cruiser, then becomes battleship and all that stuff. And there's others who have big battleships, and they will, how would I say, you have to maneuver your ship carefully, and you don't want to get too close. You don't want to get too far. You want to be where the action is, but you want to be, you want to protect yourself too. So it's like navigating the ship. I'm about to set a print here, so take a look at this. Real fast print speed, travel speed. No, we'll play. Okay, good. So let me. I got so many windows open; they're overlapping. So this is just your typical day here. It's hectic. I'm trying to get things going, and trying to keep things moving. MP select 2. So I really need to have like dual monitors. I got a big TV as my monitor, so I don't have the space for a small monitor. So I'm thinking, well, maybe I could have a small monitor on an arm hanging from the shelf. I could have a monitor here. The reason is because I want to see where I get comments. If someone has posts a comment, it's underneath a window, and I want to be responsive. Someone asks a question, I want to be able to turn around and see it and hopefully answer it. Right away without finding out at the end of the video, like last time. Sorry about that. Let me see. I got the path. Let me go back. Copy the path. Copy. Actually, I need to put the path here. Copy. File. Save. So I just made an STL. But make no mistake. Even though I say it like that, there's competition and there's people who will, backstab you and things like that. There's also a lot of good people that won't do something like that. Basically they're business owners with honor. And so I've been blessed in particular in having dialogue with a few of them. And I tell you, there's in a industry like the toy industry, it's not save the file. It's you need all the friends you can get, because there's some very big battleships out there, big ones, and there's others that are catching up. They're building their fleet. It really is a good metaphor or analogy to think of companies as ships out in some turbulent world, turbulent ocean. And it really is like that. Okay, I can close this. New project. Yes. Then close this file. Go back and take a look at the video. Hey. Okay, let's see. Any comments? No comments. Okay. So I'm about to. I gotta get the micro SD card. I keep wanting to say X instead of S. Okay, I got 2 files. Let me get this going. I need to do a test print. Then once this one finishes, I need to turn around and start another print for an order. So that's there. USB, turn it on, wait for it to come up, open a new window. So I think some people do wonder, how come I go live and I show all of this hectic stuff. I think it's important to really know what goes on. It's sometimes I get really busy. I don't post news, and let's see. What do you think? Where can I just put this? Canisters? Yeah. Okay. Tech canister version 12. Copy here. Hopefully I have space. Yes, I got space. Okay, good. So take it off of the USB. Take it out. Put it back. Let's see. Now I gotta print it. Print. I'm going to the menu on the thing. Canisters. That canister. Okay. Making adjustments. Okay. Okay. Now back to the little video, and then I start the next point. Let's see. Okay. Take a deep breath. Almost every day is like this, behind the scenes. I got 2 consoles out there that are going to be put into the machine for suppressing the layer lines. I think I need to print the legs to them. I need to print 3 of them. Unfortunately, I'm still having electrical issues with the outlets. I think, but I got 2 outlets free, so I'll be able. So I'll have to find the plug and put it in. But order of importance. Oh gosh, I got these things I got to clean up. These are for consoles, look, sci-fi keyboards. You know what? To do this, I gotta get my glasses. Be back. Okay, the print is going. Take a deep breath. Feels good to just kind of exhale. Yeah. It's not easy, but it's fun. It really is fun. Make no doubt about that. I would like to work on some CAD. Ooh, suddenly everything's clear. I would like to work on some CAD stuff. Maybe I can clean up these things tonight. I got to do laser cutting. I'd like to do tonight also. I have confidence that what I need to laser cut tonight won't be a problem because I've been laser cutting these particular items consistently, and I haven't been having issues. Not like this other item I'm having issues, and just gotta figure that out. But it's gonna take time, you know. It's gonna take time. There was something else. Well, I do want to work on this particular CAD item here, but let's see. I think I'm going to need to bring up another folder because once this print finishes, I got to look for another file and get going with that file. So, um, I got to look into the Joy Toy stuff. There's some diorama things that I've been seeing a friend posting pictures of, and he's doing pretty good. And I need to do the same thing, but of course, I want to make it more my style. So hybrid parts. That's what I'm thinking. And but I need to get some just to see about it. Let me get into the proper folder here. Yeah. Gotta make another video. I've been making videos and recording them so that I can go back and edit and do time lapse, things like that. But I'm thinking the tank one, World War One tank one is like that, and I got the Spider Mech that I want to work on right now. Thinking location. So I do want to work on the Spider Mech real fast. Maybe do like 1 hour's worth of Spider Mech. Modern land. Is it man? Mechs. 6 legs. I don't know. Spider Mech is 8 legs. 8 legs. Sorry. This one's 6, so it should be insect, but it is round, So okay, copy. Bring up SolidWorks. There are so many things to do. I think with all the issues with the laser cutters and stuff like that that's going on, I think it is really adding the stresses to stuff. But I think tonight I'll be able to clean up some parts, put them into the machine, get the other items ready to go for shipping, and so I'm thinking maybe tomorrow I can work on the laser cutters and see about upgrading the software, because I don't know why it didn't make the laser cut properly. And like I said earlier, it's when I import the image, instead of importing the image with all the details, I'm just getting a very pixelated image. It's instead of a fine line, it's really thick, it's pixelated, it's not usable. And I don't know why, because it wasn't doing that before. So hopefully the first solution is that the software could be upgraded to something that maybe handles this better. If that fails, that is probably going to be the laser tube. But when it comes to importing the image, that is what I don't know why. So that's obviously software, so I'll try that. So the print is going on. Okay, I'm going to open and share the screen. Share screen. Window, SolidWorks. And there's the tank stuff. I'm going to hide this. What I need to do though is not the tank items. I guess when I load up the actual mech, I'm going to. I guess I can show the something interesting. Okay, there it goes. Took a while. So if you're following what I've been doing, I have a series of videos that I've been making offline, and it shows the progression of this World War I tank. There's a lot of options that I'm thinking for this tank. What I'm trying to do is like a post-apocalyptic survival vehicle, and something that fits in with acid rain, something that fits in a sci-fi setting. Um, it doesn't have to be quite uh, post-apocalyptic, but it could be. Could be even future. But thing is this. Okay, here's an old antique tank that's been upgraded with new armor, state-of-the-art armor, state-of-the-art weapons. Because it is a tank, it's got a lot of room to load up gear. And then because it's a World War I style tank, those things were huge compared to modern tanks. So I'm thinking like this. Okay, modern warfare, or it's moving more towards urban style designs, because once you get past the battlefield, you basically are occupying an enemy city, or you're defending your own city. And so what happens in the city environment, you get a lot of obstacles, rubble, and things. So a large modern battlefield tank is limited to certain areas, especially highways and things like that. So the thought of future warfare for urban combat is smaller vehicles that can traverse the uneven terrain of a rubbled city. So you're talking about mechs, small size mechs. Think of it like Ghost in the Shell, the not really the movie, live action movie, but the anime version. Those type of spider type mechs, not the Tachikomas, but the urban tank like mechs that you see and I'm thinking like the first movie, first anime. Uh, the I think it's towards the end where the major is fighting this this mech that's being I think it's remotely controlled. I'm not quite sure. I had to go back and take a look. But anyway, the thing is that that's the thought is smaller armored vehicles. If you can have them roll around on wheels with legs, that would be great, because then you can go high speed over a highway, get to location, and then you can walk over rubble and secure a location. So anyway, so I was thinking like in terms of the World War One tank, was what if we did it the other way? Instead of going small, because you can always go small, but what if you have your mobile base being some tank, and from there you can like a ship, from there you can launch drones. You can launch smaller drones, unmanned um, ground vehicles. You could have troops. You could have your other other stuff. You could have a VTOL landing on top. You could have drones landing on it, aerial drones. You could have some that have missiles, missile pods, artillery, um, satellite communications, anti-satellite stuff too. So picture a high-power laser capable of taking down a satellite in orbit, things like that. So in other words, size. High power laser, it's going to need a nice size power plant. If you're launching drones, maybe this thing is kind of like a mothership, but on land. So if you have drones, this is a vehicle that can support maybe producing them or repairing them at least. You have supply of them, you can repair them, come back, get charged up for the next battle, and do other types of things. In other words, a mobile base. So I was thinking like that, and I'm thinking about with a tank. Maybe I should bring up a better picture. With a tank, you should be able to load up all sorts of gear. So let's say it's a troop. Let's say you're carrying a crew or a troop carrier. Let's say you have two of these. So one of them is your offensive vehicle, and then you have the other one, which is your command one and your troop carrier. And so the crew, comes out of that. You can have gear loaded up on top, survival gear, all sorts of backpacks, crates, food stuff, cans, all sorts of things loaded up on the outside. You could have reactive armor also mounted to attachment points. You could do all sorts of stuff like that. Of course, the idea is different. Everyone wants to do an SUV, combat SUV. Everyone wants to do another version of like the G.I. Joe Vamp, basically another Jeep. Everyone wants to do some sort of military truck, and all those things are fine. They have their places, and but I'm trying to go a different approach, and something different, something that feeds the imagination of what if. What if you did this with a figure? What if you did that with a base? What if you did that with a diorama? So, this is something different. And I think really people need to have different tools. When you're doing dioramas and you're doing custom figures, custom vehicles, custom dioramas, you need tools to customize. It's like an artist needs a good set of different kinds of paintbrushes. A model builder has to have different kinds of X-Acto blades, things for snipping plastics and all sorts of other stuff. Well, when you come to building a diorama, you need different tools. Not everything is going to be rubble. Not everything is going to be a barrel. You're going to need to have other tools. And so I'm out there. I'm trying to come up with these options for people. And something I haven't seen something like this done before. So I'm thinking like, hey, let's be the first. Let's be bold. Fortune favors the bold. And let's see. Let me bring up a better picture. Get my thoughts together. I feel like having a Coca-Cola, believe it or not. Let's see. Instead of that, can I just bring up Explorer and then just click on the picture? Tech canister. I'm in the wrong folder. Well, let me bring up this assembly of the 6-legged spider mech instead of 8 legs, because this is something that I need to work on. But let me also bring up a folder for the tank, since we were talking about the tank. Let's see. I gotta remember what's the path. Go here. Manufacturing, 3D designs, current designs, vehicles. 1/18 scale. Oh, wait. I just saw something here. Oh, no, it's not. It's not even out of the zip file. Modern land. This is a manned vehicle. This is a tracked vehicle. I have 2 World War I tanks. Which one is the one I'm working on? Okay, this is the one I'm working on. Okay. So let me bring up the assembly. This is not the current assembly, okay? But this is good enough for talking. Okay. Yeah, rebuild. Let's see. What's going to change in this is that you can see this is essentially this is kind of narrow. So to get a sense of size, this is a door right here, a door opening. It's a little bit taller than a figure. So figures are about 100 millimeters tall. The Marauder figures with the head is a little bit taller than that. So I am using Marauder figures as the standard. So this is about 105 millimeters tall with the head. So the door opening is a little bit taller than that. I don't remember offhand. It's probably like 110 or 120 or something like that. It's a little bit taller for a figure with a helmet. So the width of this vehicle, the floor plates, like in orange they have here, these gray ones, they're about a little bit taller than a figure, so a little bit longer. So you can see it's not going to be very spacious. So I am changing that. I am going to make it wider. The gun placements are just big enough for a figure sitting in a chair to man a cannon. So, that will work. The ideas about a World War I tank being so long is because they were doing trench warfare. And so you had to make the tank, go over a trench. So you want to make the thing longer than the trench was wide. So that's why you see a lot of these tanks get this type of shape. In particular, the rear wheel, some of them were extra long. They had a really long, some of them had a really long back area where the rear wheel was. Sometimes the rear wheel went all the way down to the ground level, flush to the ground, rather than inclined. And some of those, the tanks had a rear door, because if the tank got disabled, you could have troops or the tank crew come out from the rear of the tank. You could also have some troops in there too, and they could come out and support the tank. What I'm working on next for this is I have to find good photos that show the armor that covers the small wheels. I need to know how large was that armor, how much of the tracks were covered. And some of them, I have a feeling it was just covering just at the point where the tracks, I would say. So okay, here you have a track. Okay, well here you have a track. So the armor coming down is probably just at the right where the tracks really begin. So the armor is going to be, you know, in front. It's going to have the track like that. So the tracks were kind of thick. So do I want to do the same, or do I want to make a little bit different so it becomes a little bit more practical? I'm going to try to make it as close as possible. If there's going to be some hindrance, you know, the thing is hindering the track movement, then I will make some alterations. Of course, these wheels, they're going to change. They're going to be 2 wheels with a groove in between, so that way the tracks can how I say, stay in place. One of these wheels, probably the front, will have the motor part. So it's going to be the idea of a front wheel drive, basically. So I'll do the teeth part for the tracks going to be up front. So that way the front wheels, they'll have teeth, and they'll grab into the tracks, and they'll, you know, as if this thing ever becomes motorized, you know, it'll be up there. And we'll see how that goes. If that's a problem, then I'll just work it to the back. Shouldn't be a problem, I don't think. I need to make the wheels adjustable, so I still am working on parts of this thing. Maybe I should work on this right now, since I'm in the mood with it right. Yeah, I won't work on the spider mech right now. I'll do that later. I guess I should save this. Okay, save it. I'm gonna work on this. Okay, so I'll do that for the next hour. With that said, let me see if there's any comments. No comments? Okay, good. Hey, good. Only because that means I can plunge right into the project. Okay, so here I go. Computer, set timer for 1 hour.
1 hour, starting now.
Computer, stop. I don't know if y'all could hear that background music. I forgot it was on. So anyway, here I go. Let's see. What I need to do here is get to this folder. Where's the assembly that shows? Okay, assembly side, this one. Assembly side, tank side A, this one. Okay, this is where I left off on the video I recorded while offline. It's loading stuff. You don't see activity. Yeah, it's loading stuff. Don't save. Well, let me do it again. Maybe it just didn't catch. Assembly tank side A. Okay. Double click. Oh, okay. It did load. It was the okay. It was the file I had open already. Okay. I'm going to just go full screen, and then I'm going to talk over this. So if you have questions, just please wait until I can see the comments. So let me go full screen. Yeah, there it goes. Look at that. Great. Okay. Now to begin. Okay, so what I'm doing here is that on the on the big tank assembly, I need to organize how I did the sides. Let me bring it up again. Maybe it'd be easier if I just load up that file from Explorer window. So when I did this, I started with the floor, and then I added parts to that floor, and then I added parts to those parts. So everything here is a separate small set of assemblies. This is an assembly there. This is an assembly there. So I did a bunch of small little bitty assemblies, and which is fine. But now I want to make this a bit more organized. Okay, so the idea is I want to make the left side and the right side walls, and I want to make these walls so I don't have to recreate the wheel on either one of them. I want to make these walls interchangeable in the sense that all I have to do is just flip it or rotate it. Essentially make a mirror. Well, not really, but use the same thing, but just move it to the other side. Because if you notice the shape of the front and the back, they're basically just opposites. So basically, you should be able to just rotate this entire wall, this entire side upside down, and it should look the same. Going from left and right with the floor, I should be able to just move it over, rotate it, things like that. And so in other words, what I want to do is do it in such a way where I have one file. All I have to do is maintain that one file, make a change to that one file, and you'll see the change happens to both sides. So that's what I'm doing with this right here. Now ignore this part, because you can see this is. I'll have to come up with a better floor part for working with this section. But in the meantime, this shows me how the floors are going to attach. And so you'll see that on the next. Let me see if I have an assembly already in the works. I don't think I do. I'm reading the file names. I think this is where I left off, actually. So let me do this. Go File, New Assembly. And what I'll do is that I'll import that wall that you saw. That's the side. I keep saying wall, but the side. So this assembly tank side A. Okay, so let me just put it in. And let me change the background to this darker background. Maybe also hide these lines and rotate the model. So now let me actually open up a floor. Now the floors are simple at the moment. There's no detail. So you can imagine these floors as a placement for the moment. Okay, so here's a floor. Now I'm going to insert the floor to see now it's in the list of open documents. If not, I will have to search for the file each time. So let me just put this here. Let me just put a few, and then I'll see about connecting them. This part can be tedious, but it's important. So I got to do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 more times. Insert component, floor, and 1 more. Insert component, floor. Okay. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to make these. In other words, I'm going to join these together. I'm going to say make the top of this, join it to this face here. Basically, raise it up so that the top of this surface is at the same height as that surface. Now I'm going to move it out the way a little bit. And I'm going to say, okay, I want the inside of this to connect to this. Okay. And then I need to put a space. 0. I need to think about this because this is going to be laser cut. That means that the laser is going to eat away at the material, whatever material this is. I'm thinking this might be wood or ABS. I'm thinking this is going to be ABS for the moment. So this might be an expensive floor because ABS sheets are not cheap. But let's see. If it's laser, then I don't need any spacing. If it's 3D printing, then yeah, I will. So now I want to have this face to this face. Okay. It's an exact fit, huh? There's an issue right here. So I just uncovered an issue. So let me take a quick look. The issue is this, right there and right here. One piece is overlapping. So let me go to this assembly and take a quick look and see. So this wasn't planned. So I'm over here. I'm looking at this one. But there's no spot there. There's no overlap there. Right. Elsewhere? Oh, it's the back. That's weird. Oh, no, it's the front. Okay. Let me get rid of this. Let me go cancel. Let me delete it from here. Yes. I really shouldn't have had an issue there. Let me take a quick look here. Okay, so there is I don't like having to do something like this because instead of progressing to the next, now I have to go back and kind of figure out where I went wrong. I'm just highlighting each piece. So see, the thing is that one part is 3D printed, one part is laser cut. So you do get these little issues when it comes to precision. You do get these little issues. I almost feel like doing this over. In fact, that might be the easiest way to do. Yes. I don't know what's going on here. Let me just get rid of this. Say yes to all. Okay. I think I'm going to get rid of. Let's see. That bothers me. Okay. Let me get rid of all this then. I think it's safe. So let me do this again. Let me go mate. The top of this to the bottom of this. This to here. This to here. Now let's take a look at the measurements, the spacing in between. Okay, so I am going to have to make an adjustment. Okay. Let's try 0.25 is going to be too much. 0.125. $65. Okay, so this is going to be a very tight fit here. That might be tighter than I would want. I'm just thinking it may work in real life. It may fit. How does this look? It's getting frustrated. I need a cutaway view. This was not expected. I thought it was going to be easier to do, but I can make the fix. Top view, top view, top view. Okay. Okay. I'm working on the fix. Basically, I'm going to go back and eliminate a line and put it right back. I need to take a quick look and see. So this one just needs to come into contact, I think. In other words, no spacing. I'm going to rely on the laser cutter when it makes the cut. It's going to make enough spacing to fit in between. You know, the width of the laser beam, it's going to make that spacing as it does the cut. Okay, so I think this is what I want. I'm going to select, so copy. Let me do it again, just to make sure. Copy. Let me bring up that little floor. Let me see which is this side. Okay, so I'll go sketch. Not there, not there. select this, go sketch, edit sketch. Control V, paste it. I need to flip it. Center line. Here to here. Yeah, no, last time I said it wasn't going to be doing these CAD videos and stuff like that. But I figure, why not? Mirror entities. Okay. Then let me get rid of this. Copy this. It should be dead center, right? So it should be 25, huh? Center line. This should be unchanged, I believe. Okay, so copy this. Just gotta zoom into here and take a quick look. I think everything is where they meet is the same. Can I extend anything in this direction? I guess not. Okay, so let's take a look. May have to do the same thing for the other side, but we'll see. Save this. Here. Yeah. I know there's errors in the mates because I eliminated them, essentially. Delete that. You know, the mates are broken. So I need to go to each one. I'm just going to delete these. Delete. Yeah, so I do apologize having to mess around with this. I was hoping to be a bit more exciting. Okay, so there. So I need to this to actually come in contact, no spacing. So assembly, mate. There. This. Let's try there. Okay. Now let me do one more. Oh, okay. So go insert component. Guess this is floor 2 because I did the big floors first. Yeah, I'm still in the cutaway. Okay, there it is. I'll go say mate. Let's do here. That. The bottom of this. Then let's move it out the way. I gotta turn it around. So rotate. Okay. You know, it might be the spacing between here that is throwing things off. Because between each wall there's a space as well. I gotta do that. But that might be the issue. That might be the issue. So this, I bet you that's the issue. Let's set to that. Well, I don't see anything overlapping. Well, yeah, there's a little bit here. But I believe that's the issue. So, in other words, I'm thinking maybe it's safe to ignore these overlappings. Because there is a space in between. It has to be. Okay, so in other words, ignore it. Okay, so we're safe to continue then. It's going to get frustrating down the road, but because more pieces are going to be connected to those openings. Okay, but anyway. Go back to what we were doing here. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so now I'm thinking about something else, a different issue. Now I'm thinking now what I'm thinking is reinforcement. I am going to need to put some sort of okay, I think all of this is going to work out. Because this is what I'm thinking. I got several thoughts, and my brain is racing as I think of it. What I did on the VSS, on the engineering section for the engine room, I did something similar where I had some large pieces of wood, and in between there was some 3D printed bracing. And so the wood attached to this 3D printed part, it became very strong. So the wood had its own strength, but wood is delicate, and it attached to the 3D printed part, and that lent a different kind of strength to it. So it turned out to be a very rigid structure, and it was very strong and not as heavy as I thought. So I'm thinking something like that here, where in between each of these floor items to have a 3D printed part, so that these floor items connect to that 3D printed part. It will make it stronger. More items to print, but it will make it stronger. It will be very doable. Very durable, sorry. Because I'm also thinking, let's see. So what I'm thinking is doing some sort of ribbing, like a boat, like a ship, or the old style airplanes of this era. you know, where you had a ribbing structure and then you had the fabric of the airplane on top of it. So I'm thinking something similar, where what I can do is to have a 3D printed, I don't want to say bulkhead, a bracing part that goes from one end to the other, and the floor items in between. So plastic floor, plastic floor, plastic floor, that kind of thing. So far, the measurements on these floors are 2 millimeters, so that indicates it's going to be ABS. So what I'm thinking is having some floors like what you see here, and then have a different floor in between, and then you go back to the original floor, so it alternates between two different kinds of floors because of the length, or in this case the width. This direction from here to here is going to be different from there to here, because I don't want to make too much of a change, unless maybe I do the change here. Maybe like you see where this part is. Yeah. So I am going to have to down to this and edit. So I am going to have to just copy this and replace this with it. Copy. We'll grab it. Oh, come on. This. There. Okay. So that should be, yes. I don't know why I was complaining that. So, okay, so let's go back to this. Yes. Since the floor is going to change, I'm not too worried now. So I'll go mate. I don't want to make the face of it. What I want to do is here to here. Okay, this is going to be good there. Okay, so maybe I'm too early right now. Yeah, let me get. I don't want to. I have to be careful how I delete, because deleting the items here is not the same as deleting the items from the list here. This actually might delete the items in the object itself rather than from the list. That happened to me once. I had an assembly full of different stuff, like, for example, like these little wheels. And I said, oh, I don't need that one anymore. So I deleted that. And then I go and I look. It's like, well, it didn't delete the file, but with the assembly, it deleted all of the little wheels in it. Something like that. I was like, no. Okay, let me just delete. Cancel. See, I'm doing the same mistake again. Delete from there. Okay, yes. Now, what I'm going to do. Let me go. Let me do this. Insert components. One more floor. Because I need to do it over this side. I gotta see where it's going to be two. So I want to mate this bottom part. I want to skip the first two and put it right here. Okay. Then I need to rotate this item. Okay. Because now what I want to do is that I'm getting to the next part of this assembly, which is basically import this piece again. Oh, but you know what? I think I just double work for nothing, or something like that. I'll explain in just a bit. I tell you, this is a crazy day already. Something like this. Just go like that. Okay. Yeah. I think I did double work. Yeah. You can see it, right? Maybe what I'll do is remove this from here. Okay, tank side A. Save. What did it like? So insert component. Yeah. Silly me, look at this. Look at that. Okay, just undo it. Control Z. Control Z. Okay, Control Z. Good. Save this. Frustrating. It's the other one that I did extra work. switch it to this one. Okay, got the floors back. Okay, here we go. Insert components. Tank side A. Here. Now I'm going to say I want mate. Instead of doing the top, I'm going to do the bottom. So I want, let's say, this bottom surface to be flushed to this bottom surface as well. Okay, same level. Okay, now what I need to do is, yeah, okay, so I had another thing. This is not going to work. I really do need to have it as a mirror. Yeah. Okay, so you guys get to see how to do a mirror. It's been a while. There's several ways to do a mirror of the entire structure. Let's see if I can get it right on the first time. So let me try this. Delete. Yes. Okay. Switch. Here. It's been a while. It's been a while. And is this the smart thing to do? Something like this, I usually go to a YouTube video. There is a way to, you could block it all in. Okay. There's a way to, and then it's like, it's one of these. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's in it's nested inside of a menu, a particular. Let me go to a YouTube video. And let's see. SolidWorks mirror part. Let's see, SolidWorks mirror parts. Okay. Quick little 2-minute video, 3-minute video. Maybe we could fast forward. There's like two methods that this guy in his video is doing. Method 1 is right there. I don't like method 1. Method 2 is at the end of the video. I missed it. Insert mirror part. Let me pause the video. So you go SolidWorks. This one. It's just a part. I hope I don't have to recreate this as an assembly. Insert. Well, where is the option? Well, maybe they're mirror components. Mirror plane. See, what I don't want to do, man, I think the better way then, I was hoping to just simply do a simple freaking mirror. There we go. Let me do this. Let me just save all of this. Come on. So no, I won't do the, well, yeah, I'll keep this assembly here. We go to the tank. No, I don't want to save it. Don't save. Window. Let's just close some of these things. Window. Oh, I'm getting tired. And I wasn't expecting to do it like this. Okay. Let's switch over to the next. Okay, I'm going to make a copy of this file. So assembly side A, that's what I want to edit. Assembly side A, okay, copy. So I must have suspected I would have to do something like that, like what I'm doing here, because I made this one side A 1-1. Well, this is side A, so I'm going to have to make this one as side B. So I was thinking ahead, I suppose, the last time. Assembly side B. Okay, now I'm going to open this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is move these. We'll simply move these items. Assembly side wall A. Okay. So I should be able to. Oh gosh, it's a whole thing. This is going to be a little mess, but watch. Browse. These were just simple straight panels, huh? Okay. So I could take this and delete, and this is delete sidewall. And this one, sidewall, delete. Insert components. Browse. And do this one again. Insert components. Browse. So then I go to mate. Mate this with a little spacing, 0.25 here. Now see which direction. Okay. Now I'm going to try to line up these holes. So let's do this. Line up this hole to here. Line up this hole to here. So that's one side. Now I just got to clean up this side. So I can I'm going to simply delete this. I got all these screws that are here. Yeah, like I said, it's a little nightmare. I want to mate this with a little space, 0.25 here. And I want, look, everything is breaking apart. Grr. Now see, this is getting messy. So I want this screw hole right there. And I could do the same for this one. It's not quite the way to do it. At the top to here. Corkscrew. Oh, so I'm just gonna have to just bite the bullet and do all of this. Delete it. Yes to all. See, the reason is that from what I saw, I would have to, if I want to make a mirror of the entire assembly, it looks like I would have to make specify a particular plane and then make a mirror and then delete. And that's not the technique that I was hoping to do. That's the reason why I'm recreating this like this. Okay, so one hour. Computer, stop. So, okay. I just want to wrap this up. So, make that side, little space, 0.25. To this. Okay. I did all this again. Click the wrong thing. You know what? Check guard inner. We'll have to get rid of this. Delete that. And delete that. Get this out my way. Rotate this to the other side. Like that. Yeah, everything's breaking apart. Look at that. Looks like this is the item that's fixed. I just want to repair all of this. get back to where it was. 0.25. So here to here. So 0.25. Okay. Yes, things like this happen, you know. Watch, there's probably some SolidWorks expert out there, probably busy laughing. All you had to do was go to this part of the menu, click here, click there, voila, it's done. Yeah, probably so. If you're that SolidWorks expert who knows how to have done what I needed to do, please let me know so I don't do this again. Like I say, you know, things like this happen. Oh, look at that. Broke things apart even more. Okay, almost done. Almost done. Oh, look at that. See, originally these were connected to the walls. That's the reason why they're not like. That's the reason why they're broken up. When I moved the walls out of the way and deleted it, well, that broke the mates. So, and not everything was was connected to the wall, but that's why it's not like all shattered like a bunch of glass. It's just there's it's they're moving in one direction and the other direction, but not the third. So that's the reason why. So 55, almost done. Let's see. Okay. So let me move things around and see if anything else breaks. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Okay, I am going to connect this. It's going to connect to there, but little space, 0.25. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Now I'm going to put this. It's going to connect to here. Okay. Now I think I'm safe to do this. Now, this. Oh, no, not quite to here. It's a little space of 0.25. See which direction is going to move when I flip it. It'll be outwards a little bit. And need to connect this to here. And let's do the lazy way. This to this. Concentric. Y. Cancel. This bugs me. Delete. Yes. So make this. Right here. Let me click, move things around, see if I can break something. No, but look at that. So something is not quite right, but it's okay. Insert components. Browse. This. Move. So something like that. So I want to a little space 0.25. Want to select this to here. Now I want to select this to here. I'm just doing the same thing as I did before. This to this. Yeah, well, it should work. How come? Why is it like fixed? See, this is annoying. Do I have like leftover mates from previously made stuff? Maybe. Okay, let me just get rid of all these grayed items. It's a lot. Yes to all. 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 Now let me try again. Make that here. So I don't know why this is fixed. This is getting me very annoyed. If this doesn't do what I need it to do, then I'm going to just rebuild this from scratch. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to do this some other time. No, I don't want to save it. Well, okay, so y'all got to see a disaster. So I'm going to end the video. I'm tired. I got to move on to other things, and I got to start another print. But I don't have time to start the other print. I'll talk with y'all later. Okay. Sorry. Hey. What an interesting time. Yeah. All right. Catch y'all later. Bye-bye.